Hi, how are you doing? Alan Brogan here from the digital department. Hope you're all having a good day. I just looking today to go through and just do a little thing on what is marketing automation, because a lot of our clients are actually, asking us about it, and we're introducing it to them. So this is just a little snapshot of what it's all about and how it can really benefit your business. We're finding with some of the clients at the moment that we've adopted it with that it's a real game changer in converting leads. So look, the best thing is I'll just run through a quick little presentation here just to outline what the kind of concept behind it is, and also to show you a little glimpse of how it kind of works in practice. So the first thing is just kind of let's break down what the process actually is when you're going to try and do lead generation and then convert it into business. So the first part of it is lead generation itself. So that's basically, getting people to make inquiries about your product or service, and, you kind of get the inquiry in, and then it's how you deal with it to actually try and convert it into business. Now, the second part of that, which is, just as important, is the part where you're actually trying to convert that customer or that inquiry into a customer. And that can be the hard part, and I'll explain to you now a little bit better. So, just a quick question, that a lot of clients tell us these things, that number one, they don't have enough quality leads coming in, but then they don't have enough time to convince these leads about their service. And then another thing then is people, businesses tend to quote clients, and sometimes that's kind of the end of it, and there's very little engagement after, and you never quite know then where the potential customer has gone. Have they gone to your competitor? And some companies are better than others, but a lot of it is time, and a lot of it, takes effort to keep following up with people, etc. So, they're common issues that businesses are having at the moment. Okay, so this is a kind of a crazy fact, and we've spoken to some of our clients, and in general, clients would agree with this. Some would say it's lower than 10%, some would say they might convert 15%, 20%, but generally speaking, the stats show that 90% of inquiries do not turn into sales. So here are people who've come to your business, showed an interest in your service, and 9 out of 10 of them are not actually turning into a sale for you. So that, so the main reason, you might be surprised to hear, it's not actually price. All the research shows that the main reason actually that people decide to go with one company over another is due to the engagement. And that can come in many forms. It can be, your sales engagement, your marketing engagement, all that kind of thing, that they're developing a perception of your company through your communication with them. And that's the core reason why people choose one company over another. So to kind of get, I suppose, then into the area of marketing automation, what does this do to drive client acquisition? So it's basically about nurturing the leads that come in to try and get a higher percentage of them to choose your business. Okay, and the best thing about it is, just like this guy on the chair signifies, that you don't have to do an awful lot. That's the whole concept about it. It can be managed and automated and have a huge effect on your business. So our methods for lead nurturing, it's a fully automated process to convince your prospective clients that you're the best business to choose. From our use of marketing automation to date, we have seen clients increase their conversion rate by up to 200%. All clients are actually increasing it. It just, others more than others, etc. So to kind of get, what is marketing automation in principle? It's following your lead's journey and reacting to the behavior in the most appropriate way to get them to buy your service. And I'll illustrate that to you now in a second in practice, how that works. And the next thing then is it's framing your customer to think more favorably about you than your competitors and guiding them down a funnel to purchase your service. Okay, so like if it's 50-50 between you and another competitor, this is about giving you the 75-25% chance, and then that's pushing the sale more in your favor and hence increasing your conversion rate. So that all sounds very lofty, obviously, like and theory, but I just want to show you here a kind of a sample pipeline. This is an workflow that we have developed, for a client. And I'll just explain to you how it works in practice. Okay, so you divide every business has, common maybe in some cases, but an individual pipeline is worked out for each individual customer. And what happens in the pipeline is this is the stage of the process where the prospect is. And for each stage of the process, there is a workflow or an automated reaction. So I'll just explain practically now what I mean by that. So if you look here, this is the first. So lead inquiry received. So this could be an inquiry, comes in from your website, lands in here. Okay. And when they come into your website, automatically, straight away, an SMS goes out to the customer saying, thank you very much for making your inquiry. A sales rep will be contacting you very soon, etc., etc. So immediately there, you're making a huge impression by an immediate courteous response, that gets the customer immediately, thinking favorably of you compared to your competitor, where they might send an inquiry in and then, a day or two later they get a phone call going, hi, we got an inquiry off you the other day. You're the one jumping in here. You're getting really smart professional communication out to them. And then you can follow it up then with an email 5 minutes later, and the email could take, a slightly different approach, like thank you for, making your inquiry, we hope we can prove to you that, we're the right fit company for you, someone will be in contact with you very soon. Maybe you could read our Google reviews and other experiences people have had with us. So within 5 minutes there, you're setting the customer up for the sales call with a really strong perception of your business. Okay, then in this particular one, now we move it to a call holding phase. So that might be where now, your sales rep or the business owner is going to now phone the prospect and have a discussion with them. So you don't want any, in most cases anyway, maybe you don't want anything triggering off to them right now. You want to manage the personal relationship and give a personal call to them, etc. So then another example here would be if you didn't manage to get them on the phone, which we find, a lot of clients, I tried them 5 times, I never got them, etc. What you can do then is, with this particular client is we move them into the next workflow, which was sending them emails and SMSs, which basically would be, requesting a meeting with them. And in some cases that could be, thank you for, making the inquiry. We're looking forward to talking to you. If you'd like to book a slot in, my calendar, please do, and we can discuss through your project, etc. Now, each client, that'll vary whether you want calendar booking or anything like that. But what it is this is a prospect, you're struggling to contact them, and you want to move them into an automation stage where you can keep reminding them, because it could be as simple as this, they put an inquiry in, they got tied up with something for the week, and you want to try and, keep some communication even though you can't actually contact them. So again, this can be automated, so you don't have to think about, will I go back and start trying to send them emails again and stuff like that? If you keep failing to make the personal contact, and you can always do personal contact within this stage as well. Then you have your meeting is scheduled. So, for some businesses, say to us, they might have no shows and stuff like that. So what you can do there is, that's very inefficient for everyone. You block out time of your day and someone doesn't show up, etc. So this would be about sending out, a confirmation email and SMS, 24 hours before, saying, look forward to your meeting tomorrow, etc. Now, this stage here is very, very important. This is when, you have consulted with the client and you are now in a position where you've given them a quote. And maybe your two competitors have also given them quotes. And, a lot of our clients tell us that, this process sometimes, can run on a little bit. Clients say, okay, I'll have a think about it, next month or, next week or whatever it is. And then it's very hard to be, ringing them all the time and stuff like that, where you can almost come across as a pest, etc. So what we generally advise here is soft communication. And what I mean by that is that you're not really trying to hard sell, but what you're subtly doing is just propping up your business. And, that could come in the form now of, if you were a solicitor's firm, it could be an email out saying, if you're, looking at buying a house, here are 5 things, legal things you should consider, etc. If you're, doing solar panels, you could send out, things about how to save energy in the house, stuff like that. Maybe quick reminders of things like Google reviews or Trustpilot reviews or something like that at the end of it. But it's more about you've done your selling, you've got your quotation out. And this now is about soft selling your company and keeping your company top of mind, so that the 3 quotations the customer has, they have them, the 3 of them now, and they're kind of tucked away somewhere, but they're seeing your company contacting with them in a really conducive way, every week, while their deliberation process comes on. And that is incredibly powerful for actually, converting the customer. Some customers actually within this have also been putting in kind of offers sometimes to kind of close the deal or something like that, at the later stages here. If the customer hasn't converted, say by, 2 weeks or something like that, they might throw in an enticement to get them to close off the sale, etc. So, as I said, all these things vary client to client, and all of this can be customized. So, some clients will use a sale agreed, where you just, you move them in here and they get a thank you for becoming a customer, etc. Now, I won't run through every single pipeline, you get the message, but this one here, for example, is maybe a no-show meeting. So if someone doesn't show up for a meeting, okay, there's still a prospect, they may be a little bit embarrassed, I don't know, and sometimes the fact that happens can break down the relationship. So, you can look at communication here, that could soften them back up to come back in, by, I suppose, not being too offended or something like that, and maybe going back to them and saying, look, I understand, unfortunately, if you couldn't attend, but we'd be delighted to discuss it with you again. And maybe soft communication that could be thought out. Then something like a 30-day callback, that's more or less where somebody has not really interacted with you, after 30 days. So it's somebody who might, you've maybe done the quotation, in some cases maybe not the quotation, but there's from their inquiry, and maybe a conversation with them, 30 days have gone. So they could be a customer now that made the inquiry, there's no urgency in it. They might do this in 3 months or 6 months or something like that. They contacted 3 or 4 companies, and in 2 or 3 months they might not even remember the companies they contacted, etc. So this again is about trying to work that client more in the long term, so that you are constantly reminding them of the business because at one point they showed an interest in the business. So again, that could be any type of business. Someone inquires, I want to get the windows replaced in the house, and they put in an inquiry, etc. And then they kind of go, we'll leave it off until the summer or something like that. But they're still a hot lead. And by the time the summer comes, when they decide, okay, let's do the windows, the 3 companies that they contacted, they may not even remember their names anymore. So this is about making sure that your name is the one that they're recalling, and that they know that they've contacted you. So then, as regards 90 days, that's kind of the same principle as the 30 days. It's just you're moving. This is a client that hasn't resolved itself. You don't know if they've gone to a competitor. You don't know if they have just put it on the back burner, whatever. So you just nurture them over the 90-day period. And then this is a not interested, spelled wrong, I'll correct that. But that's just when the sale is closed. They're not interested. You can close them down. And there's probably, some clients actually do start engagement with not interested clients because maybe the nature of their service is that they could be looking for someone else to do it potentially in 6 months, or that it's a service that's an ongoing thing that people switch between suppliers. So again, that depends on the client, but that could be worked out. And then there's kind of a no sale scenario, and again that can be talked out, whether okay, that's dead and let's move on, or whether you want some form of engagement because that person is a purchaser of your service, etc. So that, I hope, kind of brings to life a little bit how automation works, and rather than giving a load of jargon, I said I'd throw it into this little map and explain through it, so you could think about how it could kind of come to life within your own business as well. So going on other clients generally, obviously they all vary in different types of business, but what we are seeing is across all clients we are seeing an uptake in conversion percentage, and in some cases it's been up to 200%, which is unbelievable, because if you think that if you're bringing in a certain number of inquiries every month, if you're increasing by 200% the amount that you're converting, I mean that's like an unbelievable contribution to the growth of your business. But even if it's less than that, which it is with many of our clients, it's still giving them substantial return. So in a nutshell, what this cheesy guy here is saying to us. In a nutshell, so marketing automation is about nurturing leads and increasing lead conversion, right? So that's essentially like the bones of what we're doing here. It runs by itself, so it's very cost and time effective. So you've your sales reps out on the road, yourself, the owner of the business maybe, or the marketing manager. And it's very hard when leads are coming in to be constantly interacting with them all the time, and in a very constructive way as well, not just kind of calling them, but having avenues of maybe more direct sales, soft branding of the business, stuff like that, over long periods of time, depending on how the customer actually is interacting with your business, So we support personal engagement with prospects. Now that's a very important point, this is not about, automating everything so you never have to talk to a customer again. We would strongly advise not to do that. Personal engagement is still very important. This is very much about supporting the personal engagement, because there's a limit to how many times you can call a person or personally engage with them on that level. So, a proper pipeline and workflow can be worked out for every single customer. So we increase lead conversion by up to 200%. We've discussed that already. And we will improve the perception of your business, because we've all engaged with businesses, whether you go to a hotel and, the way they kind of communicate with you and engage with you gives you an amazing perception of the efficiency of the business and everything. So like if you look at the pipeline map and workflow we just went over, if that's delivered in a really smart way, you can imagine the perception people will have of your business, after doing this, or after receiving all this engagement. So it's just making you come across, really, really well. So, and then that just simply the last point is we will support sales and marketing efforts. So this is about kind of going in on top of the sales and the marketing you already do and improving it, and that's the important thing. It's not there to replace salespeople or anything like that. It just has a major role in helping you get more business. So look, that's pretty much it. If you were interested in talking further about marketing automation, give us a shout at the digital department anytime, and we could chat through and customize a pipeline and workflow that really works for your business. Okay, listen, thank you very much for listening and have a great day. Cheers.